Hello. I figured I'd actually stop and just do a quick look at creasing in case I wasn't thorough enough. As you can see here, this is the underjaw, and it looks really, I think, nice and smooth. And I put a crease here in the middle to kind of give it this nice little division here. So what I thought I'd do is actually show the head cap. Show me do the head cap here. And, so if creasing is not something you're interested in, then you can just zoom right along to the next one. But I figured in case this is something that you want to see a little more of, then we'll do it together here. Okay, so right now if I grab this guy and subdivide it, it gets nice and smooth, right? But these edges get a little bit soft, and it might not be what we're looking for. So let's bring this back to its lowest subdivision mesh here, and let's look at what we can do. Now, first thing I want to do is go to polyframe mode, and you can see when we do that topology, ZBrush is kind enough to give us groups separate from from each other. So that's actually really helpful. I want to isolate this. I'm going to make sure I just group each part here. Okay, so I have 3 different groups here, and you can see, like I said, here's a dotted line on the edge of this one right here. You can see a little dotted line here. I don't think it's on this side. It might be. I'm not really sure. If I subdivide this, let me see. Yeah, it looks like it stays nice and sharp. Okay. So I don't have to worry about creasing the 2 sides of this edge, or one assumes the 2 sides of this edge. You can see it's nice and sharp the whole time, so that's great. But what I do want to keep sharp are things like this right here, where I want sharp here. So I want to crease that a little bit. Okay. Now let me just double check. Do I want this front? I think maybe the front part may not have been, may have actually been somewhat soft. Yeah, it was soft, but I think it was soft not by design. So we'll give this a crease. So what I'm talking about here is these corners, this and this and this, for example. Think of this in terms of like in Maya, for example, when you do a smooth, you want to insert some edge loops, for example, to keep that edge nice and tight. The same thing really applies here to creasing. So I'm going to hide everything but this. And what I have to do is actually hide everything but the faces I want to crease. So for example, if I want to crease this face here, I have to kind of get rid of the faces it's connected to. So I'm going to hide them. I'm going to try and get a good look at what I'm looking at here. I'm going to go to my select lasso tool, and I'm going to just get rid of everything up till this point, and I'm going to hit crease. Now, because I knew I was going to be using crease a lot, I just mapped crease to a hotkey to C, and to map it to map anything to a hotkey, of course, hold down Control and Alt, click on it, and then it'll give you the option to assign a hotkey, and just hit C, and it'll be your hotkey. And unless you save it, it won't keep in ZBrush's memory, so it can be just a tool for right now. So if you look right now, there's no crease here. I'm going to hit C, and now everything comes back, but now there's a crease there. So now if I subdivide this, you see how this edge stays nice and sharp. Okay, so it's really, really cool. And the same thing is going to apply, obviously, to this. I want this edge to be sharp as well, so I'm going to hide everything up to that edge. And right here, and I'll just crease that. Once again, subdivide, and now it looks pretty cool. Actually, I'm going to undo that. I think what I want to make sure I do is keep it so that I don't want to crease both sides, because that might put an unnecessary crink in what I'm doing. So I'm just going to keep that edge, keep this going so it won't crease anywhere in the middle there. Then hit crease, and then we're good to go. Same deal. Going to do it. Oops. Going to do it down here for this little edge. So, again, you realize that this is not also the most exciting thing to watch, but it just, after a while you get used to it and you start flying through it. So once again, we're going to do the same thing here. I need to crease this edge. Now, if I subdivide this edge is being lost, right? So, same deal. Let's keep this guy going. Control Alt, and hide the stuff we don't want to crease. Then crease the stuff we do. Okay, that's looking good. So everything's looking good except for this little part up here. This little part down here, I do want to be rounded, but not that rounded. So what I want to do is I'm just going to move these points out a little bit until I'm happier with the way that is set up here. Okay, I want this to be you know, roundish, but not crazy round. I don't want it to look like it's not firm, you know. So I'm just going to push these into place here, and what I'm going to do is isolate this guy. Okay, and go away. And I want to just hide these. So now, do I not have? Oh, I don't think I have a. I don't think I have symmetry on. Yeah, must have hit X at some point. Okay, let's bring that back because I need symmetry. Come on, work with me here. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is hide just these guys right here that are at the basis of the roundedness part, and then I'm going to crease that. So now if I subdivide this, you see it remains sharp right there, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want to maintain a certain degree of integrity to that mesh even when it's smoothed into like a half circle. And let's see, what's there? Oh, yeah, the other thing is up here, this little part, right? So let's get this guy set up. Going to isolate this, and just going to hold down Control and Shift, and then hold down Alt and get rid of all this, and this stuff right here. Okay, so now I'll hit crease. It'll crease on both ends. Subdivide, test. Okay, now that's looking good. And the last thing we have to do is just the top part of that. So let's zoom in on this guy, isolate him. Oh, what are you doing? I'll never understand the logic behind what some of the things that this hide thing does. It just confuses me. Okay, so let's hide this. And everything but these two guys. Okay, crease. Now we look, I think, pretty good. Subdivide, turn off polyframe, and you can see it's looking pretty good. Now you can also see, you know, that we do need to do some shaping in terms of keeping this mesh a little bit more in the line, in line. Go back to the lowest subdivision level. Turn your move brush way down and just pull these points in so that we don't have that strange, awkward bevel-y looking thing. Sometimes that works cool, but in this case I think it just looks sloppy. So I'm just going to go here and push these points down from the side view. I missed. There you go. It's amazing how often I miss these points when I feel like I'm right on top of them. There we go. Okay, that's better. So now if I subdivide this a couple times, oh, we already have it. Okay, so now we have this little mesh, and it's got a little bit of a curve on it, but that's probably actually in keeping with what we need. And if not, we can always go in and change it. But I just wanted to show you, more keenly and more sharply exactly what I mean by creasing. Now, if I wanted to say make this part here have a little subdivision in it, a little bit of a crease in it, and I think I might. Let's just take a quick look at our other guy. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, I might want to have a couple creases going up here. Let me see if I go down and turn this guy off for a minute so I can get a better look at it. Right around here, I might want to have a crease, like a little bit of an indentation there. So let's bring our head cap back. Let's isolate our head cap. There we go. And polyframe mode. And let's isolate this group. And I'm going to hide everything up to here and crease that. So now, if I subdivide this up, you see we kind of get a little bit of a little sharpness there. And it's just a little thing. It's not a major deal, and it might not even really fit in with what I'm doing here. But it will, because I'm going to have another piece on top of it, and it'll kind of serve to indicate that there is a reason for that. Those two things kind of accept each other in a way. So that's really all it is. So in this lesson, really, I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on creasing. And now that we've creased everything and subdivided everything, You know, as you can see, you just need to give this guy a little bit of a move him a little bit, so that he's not overlapping with anything else. Okay, and let's take a look at where we were with the other guy here. Okay, so here's our piece. Our overlap is a little bit off, I think, with the headpiece. See how this is not really there. So let's move this back a little bit. Grab our head cap, and we'll move it into place. If we need to move these pieces or kind of tweak them a little bit, you know, it's no big deal. We can do that. But in the next video, let's actually get started on this part up here. And this is where the eye is, or I guess what we'll call the eye, and some top pieces here. Again, most of these top pieces are simply extractions, nothing big. But you know, let's make this part, and let's get this head finished up, and then we'll come down here, do the mandible and the hoses, and then it's on to the arms. So I'll see you in the next video.